Welcome to NFL World, where the NFL starts and ends. I'm your host, Jacob. And let's recap what happened between the New England Patriots and the New York Giants before we preview what happens in Week 14. The Patriots beating the Giants 33-15. This game, if we could even call it a game, I don't even know what we could call it. But in all honesty, the Patriots handled business. That's what this was. You want to know if you're a good team or not? Go against a bad team and dominate them in every statistical thing. It just seems so easy for them. And I know it's not. I understand it's not. But it just seems so easy. They just went. Every time they needed a chunk play, they could get one. Every time they needed a positive run, they could get one. The Giants had a hard time doing anything. It was almost comical in a way to watch the Giants. When the Giants, they were going for this field goal, thinking, oh, we're going to get this. We got it. We're going to get a field goal. We're good. And we're back in this game. And then something happens, and they show the replay. The Giants kicker, Younghoe Koo, former Atlanta Falcons kicker, missed the ball completely. His toe hits the ground behind the ball by like a yard and a half. In all my years of watching football, I've watched football for over 20 years. And I've seen these things. I've seen the weirdest of the weird stuff in football. That one, I couldn't even explain. I've never, ever watched something like that, where the kicker kicked the ground behind the football, missing the ball entirely, his shoe getting caught into the ground. It was just comical. It was a brand new way to lose. It made no sense. Jackson Dart was back in this game. It really didn't matter. There was nothing they could do. They had some nice plays. They had some nice runs. There was some good things. It's just you were clearly outmatched, outgunned, everything. You just had no ability to be in this game. And the Patriots, like I said, they handled business. You win a game, you win a competitive game, it's one thing. But when you destroy a team that you're supposed to destroy and you did it, we talk about this every week. They embody Mike Vrabel's system and who he is as a person and who he was as a player. They embody it. That's what they do. They embody him. The way he coaches, the way he played is how this team embodied. It's embedded in their DNA. That is the way they play the football game. They're tough. They're physical. They're going to play aggressive. They're going to play fast. They're going to be in the right spot. They're going to be down detail-oriented. Everything is going to be perfect. And it's hard to find a team like that. That's the reason why when he got fired from Tennessee, I was like, why would they fire him? It makes no sense. Give him a coach, give him an offensive coordinator who could actually coach the offense, and he'll be fine. He goes to New England, he gets Josh McDaniels. I'm not surprised by the turnaround. I really am not. What they brought in, who they brought in to be his assistant, how they figured out this defense, they have been awesome. There's a reason why they've been number one in the AFC for so long. They fell apart near the end of Belichick's reign. Now they're on the rise again. You can't deny what they're doing. They've been playing awesome football. Only Denver has played even close to what New England has. And to me, I still think Denver is not as good as New England at this point. I think New England has topped them in that category. Now, moving on to Week 14. The Cowboys versus the Lions on Thursday Night Football. This game means a lot for both sides. For the Lions, it means they can get back in the hunt in this. For the Cowboys, it means you keep pace with the Eagles. Both of these teams are trying to make the playoff push. They're really trying. How do you manage? If you're the Cowboys, the way you have to do it, you have to win. That tie doesn't help you at all. It really doesn't. It does not benefit you at all. But you're 2 games back of Philly. That's it. I know people say, well, you're 2.5. No, you're 2 actually. You're actually 2 because you do have the half game over them. So you gotta beat Detroit. You gotta be able to beat Detroit. Detroit's favored by 3 after being, I think they were favored by 5. It's gotten bedded down to 3. Detroit, we'll see if they have Amon-Ra St. Brown. He hasn't practiced the last 2 days with the ankle injury. When you have an ankle sprain or high ankle sprain, dependent on how the injury goes, you can miss up to a couple weeks, especially as a wide receiver where you got to jump out of your break, you got to turn on that ankle. It becomes a really big issue. If St. Brown doesn't play, that's another weapon gone for this Lions team. They're already without Sam Laporta, who had back surgery a couple weeks ago. It doesn't look like he's going to come back this season, so that's a loss. But St. Brown is your best receiver you have. He's one of the most targeted guys. You throw him all over the place. You can put him on the outside. You can put him on the inside. He's a big target on third down. Him not on the field does cause issues. I know he's played through a lot of pain before. I wouldn't be shocked if he's able to do it again. But he hasn't practiced last 2 days. That's important. A key name who hasn't practiced also for the Cowboys is Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney, he's been with the rehab crew mostly, so he's trying to work through it. We'll see if he practices today. But both these guys need to practice in order to play in this game because the Cowboys have been cautious with the way they've handled stuff. The Lions have been really banged up. They don't really want to cause any further damage. So you're playing both sides of this. However, I just look at what the Lions are doing. They just put Terrion Arnold on injured reserve. He's going to miss 4 games. Give me the Cowboys to win because I just don't see how you can play coverage against Pickens and Lamb. This stadium does concern me, though. Every time you go and play in Detroit, you're so concerned. That field is like hitting cement. That's what concerns me. It's not just roll-ups. It's the fact you might not get your foot out of the ground. You might have to work this angle, that angle. It becomes this whole different issue, and people have gotten really hurt. Von Miller is a great example. Thanksgiving, when he was with Buffalo, couldn't get his couldn't get his foot out of the ground. He tears his ACL. Like, those are things that happen. So I just want that to all be understood. But give me the Cowboys to win. I think it's a shootout. I do think it's a shootout, but I'm going to take the Cowboys to win. I just don't see how the Lions are going to be able to stop them in coverage. Enough, anyway. So I had the Cowboys winning, the score being 31-24. Moving on to the Bengals and the Bills. Bills are favored by 5.5, which I kind of find interesting. The Bills haven't been very good on offense. They still have issues at wide receiver. They've run the ball well. They beat the Steelers by running the football. They ran for over 249 yards they ran for. Like, they were awesome. But they couldn't really throw the football. They were out with both of their tackles. And the Bengals, even though they haven't been healthy, they got Joe Burrow back. And when Joe Burrow is back, this team looks like it has hope. It looks like it has hope. And if they want any chance, they have to beat Buffalo. They want any chance to win this division, they have to beat Buffalo. Give me the Bengals because I don't like what the Bills are doing at this point. I think the Bills haven't played well enough. Even though they beat Pittsburgh, I trust Joe Burrow in these situations over this defense of the Bills that has not played very well. Give me the Bengals to win 24-14. Moving on to the Steelers and Ravens. Ravens are favored by 6. I don't know how. Both these teams are really bad. They're really bad. The Steelers don't have an offense. Aaron Rodgers is really banged up. I mean, he came back in the game after being out for the game for a little while, but he was banged up. He didn't play well. They can't move the ball down the field. They can't. They can't run the football down the field. They can't really throw the ball down the field. They aren't able to do really much of anything. And the Ravens, their offense, I don't know what they are doing. Since Lamar has come back from his injury, they have not been very good. They can't push the ball down the field. They can run the football. That's the one thing. That's the reason I have them beating the Steelers. They can run the football, and the Steelers can't stop the run to save their life. You gave up 249 yards in that stadium for a reason. You're not stopping Derrick Henry. I don't care. I just don't see how you can beat Derrick Henry at all. So give me the Ravens to win, but it's not going to be a pleasant game. It's going to be weird. It's going to be very strange. Give me the score. The score I have is 17-14. That's my score because it's not going to be pretty. Moving on to the Texans and the Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 3.5. I don't know how. The Chiefs have yet to show me anything on offense consistently. And the Texans, they fought back into this conference. Everyone thought they were dead. They're 0-5 in one-score games previous to week 9. And then all of a sudden, they are back in this conference somehow. You're back in this division somehow. And you don't know what they're doing, but they're playing their tail off. They just beat the tar out of Indianapolis. They really did. The Chiefs, they ran the football well against Dallas. I really thought they did. They're not going to really be able to do that against Houston. The best phrase I heard about this Texans team, I heard it on Monday. The Texans suffocate you on defense. That's how they play defense. They suffocate you. And I thought about that, and I said, they do. They do. They suffocate you. They can't play offense at all. They can't play offense, but they suffocate you on defense. Like, it's incredible with the way they play. So I look at this Chiefs offense. They haven't been very good. C.J. Stroud with this Texans offense has not been perfect. It's not been horrible, but it's not been perfect. The Chiefs defense gave up 31 points to the Cowboys. They could not cover George Pickens, C.D. Lamb, Jake Ferguson. The Cowboys still ran the football with a great ferocity. That's what the Texans have to do. I know you don't have the weapons outside of Nico Collins. I get that. But I do see you being able to run the football against this team, be able to get and convert on third downs, and your defense is going to play great. I just have the Texans winning this. I don't trust the Chiefs at all. They're 6-6 for a reason. They don't play great offense. Their defense has been up and down this year. Give me the Texans. They're just going to win a wild game. Give me the Texans on the road in Arrowhead, 28-21. And Monday Night Football between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Chargers. The Eagles have lost 2 straight. They've been up and down. They got beat by Dallas in ridiculous fashion. And then they got beat by the Bears in hilarious fashion. Because they got beat in 2 different ways. Badly in 2 different ways, I should say. They played Dallas. They couldn't cover George Pickens. They couldn't cover him one-on-one. They couldn't two. They couldn't double cover him. They couldn't triple cover him. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't really stop the Cowboys from running the football and the offense in general. Then they go against the Bears on Black Friday. They played horrible. They were horrible. They couldn't stop the run. There was times their defensive linemen were pushed into the safety or corners of the Eagles. That doesn't happen. That just does not happen. And I don't see that happening with the Chargers because they've been so banged up on that offensive line. But that Eagles front got decimated by the Bears. And they couldn't stop the Cowboys' air attack. And their offense is disastrous. A.J. Brown, 2 100-yard games, back-to-back 100-yard games. 15 points against the Bears. They put up 21 against the Cowboys, but that was it. This offense dies. It dies during the game. It just dies. You can't explain it. They can't run the football. Saquon's getting hit all the time behind the line of scrimmage. They can't run the football. Jalen Hurts, it's not like he's getting hit. He's just not making the throw. And when he's trying to, he misses. Like I gave you the best example yesterday. Devontae Smith, he's wide open on the slant route. It's a first down, might even be a touchdown. He's wide open. Jalen misses him. The ball ends up being a little bit behind and Devontae can't grab it. That was a third down. It's just every week with this team. They can't do anything. Now they're going to play the Chargers, whose offense hasn't been, the offensive line has been bad for the Chargers. We say Jalen Hurts' offense has been bad. This Chargers offense, I don't know how Justin Herbert's alive. How is he alive? How can he be alive? I don't know how. Because this guy, he's down his 2 tackles 1 week, and sometimes he's down 4 tackles. He's been bad. They've been bad. He broke his hand against the Raiders. He had surgery on Monday. They asked him, would he play in the game against the Eagles? And he said, of course I am. I'm not missing no games. I know I'm not saying his quote exactly because this is YouTube and I don't want to say it. But he broke his offhand, his left hand. He just had surgery on it on Monday. He's going to play in this game. That's what he keeps saying he's playing. If this Eagles team can't beat this Chargers team on Monday Night Football, it's going to be a problem. We're going to have massive issues, especially if Dallas beats the Lions. Because now they're 7-5, and 1. The Eagles are 8-5, and we got 4 games to go. I like Dallas's odds over the Eagles' odds at that point. I just do. Because the Eagles have to play a short week. Even though it's against the Raiders, they have to show at least at some point they can play offense. Because if not, you can't let Dallas get back in it. Because if they lose to the Chargers, that's what's going to happen. This Chargers defense has not been great, but they've been better recently. And because the Eagles can't offense, give me the Chargers to win. I just don't like this Eagles offense at this point. Give me the Chargers to win. I know that it's plus 2.5 for the Chargers. I'm taking it. I don't care. I see the Chargers defense is better than this Eagles offense. I'll take that. Chargers win 28-17. Let me know in the comments who you have winning this week. And also, is the Eagles collapse in 2025 going to be similar to their collapse in 2023? For NFL World, I'm Jacob Hebert. Out.